Well, well, well. Look what we have here. A bunch of nerds that want me to talk about the best animated Oscar winners of the 2010s, huh? Well, buckle up boys and girls, cause I'm about to rate these bitches in their proper order. And anyone who thinks that I'm wrong, let them meet me at the sea, huh? I'll go Poseidon on you fools. Forget parting the sea, I'll part that ass. I'm gonna, no, hold on, Shark Doctor. Don't you ever interrupt me again. Got it? Noted. Oh. Good. Then let's just go ahead and start things off with Rango, shall we?
Welcome, amigo, to the land without end. The desert and death are the closest of friends. We sing of his courage, his magnificent song. But pay close attention, he won't be here long.
What a piece of shit Rango was, and is still. And I'm not just saying that because it looks like a piece of shit. Firstly, a lizard? Who the hell thought that was a cool idea? If anything, it should have been a shark, because sharks are badass. At the very least, they should have made the rattlesnake bad guy into a shark, because sharks can also be scary, which makes them badass. Imagine that voice coming out of a shark.
Hello, brother. Thirsty?
Hell yeah. But seriously, what the hell is wrong with the people who made this? It's not funny, it's not clever, the animation stinks, and there are no sharks! Am I forgetting anything?
Oh, well, I'm not the biggest fan of Rango. I do have to admit that I do think the art style is very unique and lends itself well to the world that it's created. I also like all the references that the movie throws out, which are quite a bit. But that being said, this is still bottom of the barrel when it comes to Oscar-winning animated films, so, and there's no sharks. Also, as Sharktholomew said, it's not funny whatsoever. Even when looking at other people's reviews and them going over the jokes, I just don't think they're anything that amusing. Maybe I could forgive all of its shortcomings if the story was something amazing, but we ultimately get that liar revealed plot that I'm honestly sick and tired of, as they always end the same way. There is some good voice work here, but honestly, this is the only animated film that won the Oscar that I almost walked out of the theaters while watching.
I would have taken a dump in the theater.
Why? Those people didn't make the movie.
Nope, but they played it. Next up on the bullshit train is Brave.
His face scarred with one dead eye. I drew my sword and...
Chomp! Dad's leg was clean off!
Oh, that's my favourite part.
What a disappointing mess. You think you're getting an exciting adventure filled with Scottish lore and a badass female protagonist, but instead, we're given a whiny princess tale about mother-daughter bonds, with the mother turning into a bear? What the hell? Why not a shark? Is this movie on the bear side of the shark versus bear fight? That's the wrong move, because we too can be anywhere.
In the water?
What was that? What the fuck did you just say?
Nothing, I swear. I swear I didn't say anything.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Can't say shit, bitch.
Right. Well, again, this is, as Sharktholomew said, another film that's pretty disappointing. Well, I personally don't mind the whole mother-daughter bond story thing going on, as it is a tale that we don't see Disney tell very often. I think the whole mother turning into a bear and slowly losing her mind was kind of weird. I don't know if this was like Scottish lore or something, but I just didn't find it very interesting. I also don't like the characters in the movie very much. None of them stood out as memorable, and a majority were just annoying. There are moments of great landscape animation with beautiful cinematography, but the forest and castle aspects of it just weren't fascinating locations. At least, not in the way they were portrayed. Ultimately, this is just as Sharktholomew said. It's disappointed. We wanted better.
We wanted sharks.
But, no. Sure.
With the acquisition of Marvel, Disney tried its hand at a superhero flick, but fell on their fat, stupid faces, as is evident in my next pick, Big Hero 6.
Alright, let me get this straight. A man in a kabuki mask attacked you with an army of miniature flying robots.
Microbots? Baymax, tell him.
Yes, officer.
Microbots.
Yeah, he was controlling them telepathically with a neurocranial transmitter.
What a waste of a cool concept! Our superhero film, and they didn't even have a shark hero in there! I mean, what the hell? Instead, you have a ragtag group of generic characters that have little to no interesting personalities, with a big mascot-like creature that is just there to sell toys and nothing more. Well, you know what would have sold toys? Sharks! Yeah! You guys forgot about the street sharks?
Some say they're just no good. Half shark, half man, fighting evil, that's the plan. Street sharks!
That shit was awesome! I was definitely born in the wrong era. I would have definitely been a street shark.
Well, just as Sharktholomew said,
This is Disney trying its hand at an animated superhero film after the acquisition of Marvel. So maybe it was trying to capture magic in the superhero genre, but in animated form. But it just really ends up falling short. And I think the biggest problem is with its setting.
you have San Fran, Tokyo. That sounds freaking awesome, like a great melting of Western and Asian culture. And they portray it in the most boring way possible. I also agree that the characters just aren't very memorable. Not that they're bad, but especially when comparing them to the other Oscar winners, these just aren't as interesting. Baymax may be the only exception, but he's also pretty underwhelming in the grand scheme of things. Even the cool things you remember, like the protagonist mom's amazing boobage, is just a lie.
What about its lack of shark superheroes?
Well, that one stoner guy is in like a lizard costume, right? That's kind of like a shark.
Wow. You racist motherfucker. You know, boys and girls, sometimes just because something is super popular doesn't make it a great product. Sometimes that product is a fucking mess. Especially when there are no sharks involved. And you end up looking foolish for liking it. I mention this because the next on the list is fucking Frozen.
It couldn't be warmer. It couldn't be sunnier. But that's about to change. Forever.
Arendelle.
It's completely frozen.
Cold, 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 cold.
Known better as the film with the most annoying song in the world. Frozen was fucking everywhere when it released, and so was that goddamn song. Even I, in the sea, heard it more than I ever wanted to. And I know you feel the same way about it, don't you, Jan? Don't you, Jan?
Well...
Seriously?
Look, I don't love Frozen, but I don't hate it either. Look, it's very frustrating. Here, let me show you.
We'd like to interrupt this video to bring you Jan's Angry Rat Corner. Greetings, and welcome to my Angry Rant Corner. For today's episode, we'll be taking a look at why Frozen failed. At the beginning of the movie, when Anna meets Hans and they have that romantic song, it's revealed that Hans is the 13th prince of his kingdom.
Okay, wait. So you have how many brothers?
12 older brothers. 3 of them pretended I was invisible. Literally. For 2 years.
It's horrible.
Aha! I thought to myself, this is going to be important later on. Which it was, but not for the reason that I was hoping for. You see, later on, when Anna needs to go back and kiss Hans to break the spell, it's revealed that he was lying to her about being in love, and that he just wanted to usurp the throne in her kingdom. Okay, well, first, that doesn't work, because what about Elsa, but on a larger scale? It's an ultimately very disappointing twist. It's the most basic of the basic. How much better would it have been if Anna and Hans did kiss? But when the spell doesn't break, Anna realizes that she is not in love with Hans. That just as everyone had warned her, falling in love and getting married right away is kind of crazy. And as she realizes she may have feelings for the other guy, breaks things off with Hans. Only on Hans's part, what if he actually was in love? Think about it. He was the 13th prince in his kingdom. Sure, that can translate into never having the throne, but what if it meant he never got the attention he needed as a child? And now all of a sudden, not only is he being given attention, but he's being given love, a foreign concept to him. So with this, he legitimately falls in love, or at least thinks he has, and it's not something he's experienced before, so he's not quite sure how to express it now that it's about to be ripped away from him. And keep in mind, this is something that many people do go through in real life. Thus, Hans becomes the bad guy. But not because he wants to usurp the throne or anything like that, but because he doesn't want to lose Anna and the love that she has shown him. And this very real concept can show the dangers of falling in love too quickly and rushing into things from both sides. First, from Anna's perspective, where it turns out that she didn't really love the other person, she was just caught up in the heat of the moment. And the danger on the other side, where maybe falling in love too easily and not letting the emotions really come to fruition can result in a very toxic relationship where essentially becomes a stalker. Now that's very dangerously realistic. Hans could have been a very tragic villain, a very realistic villain, but in the end we got the generic bad guy, and that itself is such a disappointment. Thank you for joining me on this angry rant. Now please come back next time where I talk about why Encanto should have had more child abuse. Until then.
And there you have it.
Wow, you got problems.
And because there's no sharks.
Now you're speaking my language. How funny that Pixar started off the decade winning this award in such high regard with Toy Story 3, but ended the decade with low regard with Toy Story 4.
Everyone, Bonnie made a friend in class.
Oh, she's already making friends.
No, she literally made a new friend. I want you to meet Forky. Hi. Hello.
Hi.
What a way to kill a franchise! Forget the perfect ending of the third installment. This one does away with all the goodwill that one did and instead replaces it with mediocrity and anger. What's the point in all the other characters making an appearance if they basically get shit to do and little to no screen time? What's worse is the new ones range from okay to just plain forgettable. Ugh, how frustrating, isn't it, Jen? Huh, isn't it?
You're just angry that they got rid of the shark character, aren't you?
They had done their job! Why? Why? Did they seriously expect us to believe that Andy would just get rid of a shark toy? How stupid!
Yeah, look, this one technically isn't a bad film, but Sharktholomew is right, especially with the amazingness that was the third one. I think this one is just not as memorable or even as good. And I really think it all just starts off with the little girl basically tossing Woody aside.
Bonnie, let's go! Rise and shine! Who wants to go on a road trip?
Me! I'm gonna bring Dolly and Buttercup and Forky and... Forky? Where are you?
He's gotta be here somewhere.
Forky! Forky!
Come on, let's eat some breakfast and hit the road.
Let's go, Forky!
Yeah, now show that clip where she promises to take care of Woody forever.
You think you can take care of him for me? Okay then.
Hit the road.
Let's go, Forky!
Alright, look, apart from that, the new characters are a mixed bag. Some of them are actually very entertaining and funny, such as the two plush toys played by Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key. But the ultimate problem is that the movie is so overstuffed with new characters that the old ones are pushed aside and not given much to do. Even Buzz feels like he's just an afterthought until it's time to say goodbye. It would have been so much more impactful if he and Woody shared in this last adventure and proved how far their friendship had come since the beginning. That would have really hit it so much harder in the end. I find it funny that back when Toy Story 2 was announced, a lot of people dismissed it, thinking it was just going to be a cash grab. And then the same thing when number 3 was announced. But I guess eventually they ended up being right, because with number 4 and the newest Buzz Lightyear film, that's exactly what this series feels like now. It's just a cash grab. And its lack of... Yeah, okay.
Okay, look, so I know I've been harsh on the movies we've gone over so far, but all that comes to an end with my next pick. Despite it having no sharks, and no imaginary shark friends or memories with sharks whatsoever, and... Wait, why am I not being harsh on Inside Out?
So, how was the first day of school?
It was fine, I guess. I don't know. Do you ever look at someone and wonder what is going on inside their head?
Did you guys pick up on that?
Sure did.
Something's wrong.
We're gonna find out what's happening, but we'll need support. Signal the husband.
With a nice pass over the reed, comes across center ice.
Sure, it may be a pretty unique story with interesting characters and nice emotional moments, and colorful animation with a good message and funny moments and meme-worthy scenes, but what the hell? Why can't there be a shark in it? Is it really too much to ask? There. Alright, look, I'm not the biggest fan of Inside Out either, but really that's just for personal reasons and not because of any criticism I have towards the film, as it really is a movie with clever ideas and a colorful cast of characters, which I do find annoying at points, but really there's nobody I loathe in there. Plus, I do think the message is very sweet, and I think touches upon a lot of things that we may have gone through with our childhood, and things that kids could be going through with their childhood as well. So I do think it's very clever in its messaging as well. In the end, I really can't justify placing this any lower, despite it not being a favorite of mine. If anything, I really thought it might have needed to go higher, but I just couldn't justify doing so, seeing as I have too much fondness or respect for the others.
You know, you keep saying you, but isn't this my list?
Yes?
Moving back to me, I have a film that I hold such resentment towards. A hate that has no bounds. Loathing without equal.
Is it because there's no sharks?
You know it is! Stupid Zootopia!
Zootopia, a gleaming city where animals of all breeds, predator and prey alike, live together in peace and harmony.
Hi, I'm Judy, your new neighbor.
Yeah? Well, we're loud. Don't expect us to apologize for it.
I mean, what the hell? An entire film about animals, an entire city filled with animals, and not one shark?
That's rough, buddy. On a positive note, Zootopia is great! Seriously, It's actually the first film on this list that I'm a big fan of, and I fell in love with immediately upon seeing. I think its world is very fascinating. It's fleshed out. I like how the different animal sizes come into play. So parts of the city are built for one type of animal and then another for a different type of animal. And honestly, I think it's just a very colorful world that I honestly would really love to explore myself. And at the center of it all is Judy and Nick, who have such great chemistry. You're invested in their adventure and want to see them constantly interacting with each other. They are a big part of why the movie works so well. Its story and themes aren't anything mind-blowing, and it's painfully obvious who the antagonist is going to be, but especially with how the world was and still is, it's a great message to reiterate to kids. And it also helps that it has a ton of funny moments, such as the sloth conversation or the nudist camp. There's a ton of great things in this film. This is a world that I actually would love to see in the next Kingdom Hearts, just so I could explore it more. And I do think when you want to get into a film and explore its setting, it's one of the highest honors you can pay a film.
Oh yeah, I would love to see this in the next Kingdom Hearts.
You like Kingdom Hearts, Bartholomew?
Well, of course. It has shark-type enemies. It also even had a shark boss at one point, so yeah, I'm all on board with Kingdom Hearts. Now, I'm sure there are some that would consider the next pick to be worthy of the #1 spot. After all, it is one of the few animated films to earn a Best Picture nomination. But I ask you, what good is it if, oh my god,
we get it, Bartholomew! There's no fucking sharks in it! Just stop, the gag is getting old, you fucking... Just name the next fucking movie!
It's Toy Story 3.
Watch out!
No, just keep playing. Just pretend I'm not here. Does the red light mean it's going?
I've been cold, I've been hungry, now for a while. I guess most of my dreams have come true. With it all,
Andy's going to college.
Bartholomew, why aren't you saying anything? What? Are you angry with me? Bartholomew! Go! Fine, be that way. As we've mentioned, Toy Story 3 is great. It was Pixar at the peak of its height, Up having only just come out the year prior. And this film is so goddamn good because not only of its characters, not only because of its setting and its themes, but because there are so many emotional moments that pack a wallop, like a real wallop. Seriously. And if it wasn't for the fourth installment really ruining that ending for me, I think I would have placed this higher, maybe even at the #1 spot. But as we know, that wasn't the case. And I really do truly honestly feel that the ending is marred by the following installment. But that being said, the many great moments in this film are still there. I remember watching this in theaters and getting to the part where the toys were ready to die together. And I was on the edge of my fucking seat. There were people in the audience that were fucking crying their eyes out. And then... They're not just gonna kill these characters. It is one of the few times that a movie seriously had me going like that, and it stands out as a fantastic moment of cinema history to me. Don't you think so, Bartholomew?
Yeah, whatever, I guess.
Well, seeing as Bartholomew's too depressed to introduce our penultimate pick, I'll just tell you that it's Coco.
I know I'm not supposed to love music.
No music. No music.
But my great-grandma Coco's father was the greatest musician of all time.
This is one that I actually thought was just good on my first viewing, but grew to absolutely love the more and more I watched it. Once again, it's a world that you would love to explore, and I actually hope that it's in the next Kingdom Hearts so I can do so. I'm actually surprised it hasn't been yet. The characters are also all very likable or interesting, to the point you actually do want to go into this family's history and see who the ancestors were. It's also very colorful with some great animation, tons of catchy and entertaining songs, a very emotional ending, and as a side note, I freaking love that meme with Ernesto de la Cruz. There's honestly not a lot that I don't like about this film. Maybe that they try to trick the audience with that stupid fake picture. I mean, come on, it's obviously not his body type, but when the fuck has he ever worn that? And I guess there's also... Bartholomew! Look! There's a fucking shark!
What? Where?
Right there!
Where? I can't see!
There!
Oh yeah! I see it!
See? Not all these films suck. Some of them do care about sharks.
Well, yeah, but why just the figure? Why didn't the actual spirit make it into the movie?
Well, I'm sure they're just saving it for the sequel.
What? There's gonna be a sequel?
Well, not that they've announced, but you know what? They're getting it ready for in case, right? They gotta hold on to the big guns like the shark for the sequel.
Yeah, you're right. Why wouldn't they? It's a shark after all.
Exactly. See? And you thought I didn't have your back. Fin thing.
Well, I guess I might have overreacted.
That's alright, Bartholomew. Friends again?
I suppose.
Okay, now introduce these people to our number one pick.
Well, no surprise here. Number one goes to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Miles! Yeah? Gotta go!
If you want me to drive you, we gotta go now.
No, Dad, I'll walk.
Personal chauffeur going once.
It's okay.
Seriously, Dad, walking would have been fine.
Is there anything we can say that hasn't been said about Spider-Man?
This property is as hot as it's ever been. And with more Spider-Verse style movies coming out in the near future, we don't see the popularity dying down anytime soon.
Miles Morales had been making a splash for a while now as well, so it was great to finally see some representation on the big screen.
True. And honestly, the film could have gotten by with just a proper story and entertaining fight scenes. But the creators took it a step further with some gorgeous animation and a ton of fantastic Spider-Man characters. This is the type of film that kids will just go absolutely crazy for. When I can think back on my childhood and imagine how excited I would have been to witness this, I know the creators have done something right.
This is also a very important movie too.
Also true. This is the first feature-length animated film centered around a black protagonist to win the Oscar.
A feat that would be repeated a few years later with Soul.
And I think it's also important to note that it's also a young black protagonist, a kid in other words. I know that doesn't sound very important said out loud, but I think kids more than anything picture themselves as the characters in film, so when they get representation, they notice, and I think that's incredibly important.
Hey, this could have been a catalyst for the Tom Holland Spider-Verse movie.
Well, I'm sure it cemented the idea that that film was going to succeed, so yeah, maybe, but I'm sure they already had it in the works.
Well, hopefully we get to talk about another Spider-Verse film when we rank next decade's best animated films that won the Oscar.
That, I think we can truly agree on.
And maybe they'll have a shark in the new one.
Oh my god, seriously?
No, think about it. A Spider-Man shark that'll bring in people with the webs and then bite the fuck out of them.